Hello, my name is Tiffany. Welcome to the Latah Valley Fiber Co podcast. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I have a few items to show you, 2 finished items as well as a work in progress. And I also have a sewing project that I have completed. So I want to show you that as well. First things first, you can find me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can email me, lvfiberco@gmail.com. And if you'd like to check out my shop, which is currently running a sale, you can check that out at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. Okay, that sale is running through Labor Day. So it's a good one, actually, this time around. So feel free to check it out. Let's start with the sewing because it's one thing and it's easy to do. I have a friend who has recently gotten to knitting, and she bought herself a Swift and a ball winder. So she gave me some fabric and I sewed one up for her. Here you go. It's nice and long, and then it has this tie. Oh, the inside is the same. It's the same fabric. And then you take the tie. I have mine hanging on my doorknob to my bedroom. So, you can tie it up. You can hang it in your closet that way as well. So this is not really a pattern. I just sized it for the Swift and made it a little bit wider because I also stuffed it with some filler. I think it's cotton filler to kind of give some stability as well as protection for the Swift. So I wanted it to be a little bit wider because the inside fabric and that filler will take up space. So I used my Swift and tried it out, and it's plenty fine. There's lots of room in there, but it feels protected. So the pattern, I just cut 2 pieces of fabric the same width and length, and then I had this might have been 3 inches, and then I folded it in half and sewed it on there for the tie. And then I'm using cotton cording, which you can buy at Joann's. I had a little bit extra, so I just used that. And it is, I believe she got the fabric at Joann's. I have no idea what it is exactly, but fun colors. Okay, so that's for her. That's my sewing project. I will deliver that to her on Monday. Let's do finished socks. I have 2 pairs of finished socks this week. And one of them you have seen before. This is the classic flea stitch socks. Classic. Let me just double check that. Type that name. Oh yeah, classic flea stitch socks by Summer Lee Designs. The yarn I'm using is my own hand-dyed Latah Valley Fiber Co. Here it is. The black is, what did I use? It was a leftover, and I think it was actually sport weight yarn, but it doesn't seem to matter. The brown yarn is fingering weight, but it feels thicker to me, so I thought that the sport weight would be fine, and it is. So I did do some modifications. First off, I did DPNs 2.25 millimeter DPNs. I cast on 72 stitches at the cuff and did a 2x2 ribbing. Then I modified the heel. So in her pattern, she has a, might be an afterthought heel. Oh, yes, I think that is actually what it was, an afterthought heel. I did a slip stitch heel, and I modified to add this. I wanted to keep the black in the heel so that it went together, and I feel like it went fine. It looks nice. Basically, you're doing a slip stitch. So I think I slipped the brown and I knit the black. And then on the way back, you just purl everything. And so it seemed to work well. Then I did the heel turn here and then the gusset. And once I finished the gusset, I picked up the flea stitch pattern once again and did that all the way to the toe. So, and then once I got to the toe, I just quit that and did the toe that she recommended in the pattern. So here's my two. Now this is a faded yarn that I used. It fades from dark to light. So one sock is darker, especially up here, and then it fades down to light, and then I just picked up, so this is how the fade goes, I guess. So you can see it's clearly lighter on this end. But they're still nice. This is a Stellina base, so there's a lot of shimmer in these socks as well. So I think my husband will really enjoy them. So this number, sorry for the clanging. This is number 17 of 24. I started these on 8/1 and I finished them on 8/12. So that's pretty good. Okay, so those go into the stash. Again, I am knitting 24 socks, Advent socks for my husband to open, one a day from December 1st to the 24th. So I'm getting there. That was 17. Here's number 18. Also a finished object. And this one I started and finished in between podcasts. So you have not seen this one at all. Not even as a work in progress. So hopefully you like them. Okay, so this one, I'm doing something slightly different. Let's see here. Okay, I started these on the 13th and I finished them on the 18th. The pattern I'm doing is also by Summerlene Designs. However, she is doing a Colorwork Cuff Club for the year. It starts this month, August, and it goes to next July or August. It's 12 months. So this is her first pattern for August. She did come out with 2 patterns for this month, so I am doing both. The first one for this month is, it is called, no, it doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a name. She did it similar to a granny square blankets. So, but I don't think that's actually the name of it. It's just the August pattern. The yarn I'm using is my own hand-dyed yarn, Latah Valley Fiber Co. in the 2 blue colorway. I used 2.25 millimeter DPNs. I cast on 72 stitches. And then I did this. So, if you're familiar with the Colorwork Cuff Club, that is this section of the leg. This will change every month. The rest of the sock you will just use the same pattern. So when you buy it for the year, currently it's $12 for August. After August, it goes up in price. I'm not sure what it goes up to, but for if you buy the club in August for the year, it's $12. So that's $1 a month, which is super reasonable. So this part right here is what is going to change every month. So I did a 2x2 rib, which actually her pattern was 2x1. I switched that because this works really well for my husband's leg. And then I did alter it slightly. There's supposed to be a color here that instead of the blue going down in, there's supposed to be a color here. So it's a true granny square. And then down here also there would be a line of color that would be this little tiny triangle down here. I just omitted that and did the blue because I messed up. So once I did it on this side, I just repeated it on this one as well. So I did the heel flap and gusset, turn, or this is the turn, and then the gusset. All standard for my husband's socks so far. So again, I finished these on the 18th. Oh, I did add some stitches. One thing that Summer puts in her pattern is that you'll start with a 2.25 millimeter up here, but then when you go to do the color work, you increase your needle size. And I didn't have those needles, so I just increased a round or a pattern block, which turned out to be 8 stitches. So I did an additional 8 stitches repeat. And then once I finished the color work, I decreased those 8 stitches and then started the heel. So that was pretty simple. I think that will fit him just fine. Color work tends to be tighter, and especially on socks, it's really noticeable when you're trying to pull it up over your heel. So I'm hoping that works for him. If not, I might have a new pair of socks. So I really loved this colorway. It's somewhat variegated, so it's light and dark blue in through here. It's really pretty and it's poppy. I think my husband will enjoy it a lot. Was that all I did? Yes, okay. And these are 18 of 24. Okay. And then let's move on to my work in progress, which is actually the second. So for August, Summer did 2 patterns. So you got a bonus. That means each pattern was 50 cents. That's just remarkable. I don't know how she's making any money. Most months will just be 1 pattern, but not for the month of August. And I've already finished 1, and I'm working on the second one, so I'll show you the one I have finished. Now, I wanted to do this with a dark main color and then use the pop as this blue. Well, I checked my shop and I didn't actually have a dark color to do as the main color. So I ended up going to my local yarn store, and I bought Cascade Sock, which I'm not a huge fan of, but that was the only option that they had in black. So I went with it. It feels it's like a light fingering, whereas this seems heavy fingering. This black is light fingering. So I don't know how it's going to hold up to my husband. Although a lot of people use Cascade Sock and do fine. So we will see how he gets along with it. Okay, so this pair, this is August of the Colorwork Cuff Socks, number 2. Here you go. I really like this. This was a fun one to do. I had it already in my mind that I wanted to go dark with this pop of color here. So this was fabulous. I cast this on the 17th, and I don't know when I finished this first one. I'm still working on the second one, so I'll show you that here in a second. The yarn I'm using is the Cascade sock in the colorway black, and then this is the 2 blue. It's the leftover from this. So I had a little bit left over, so I thought I'd use it on this, and now I still have some left over. So the needles I used, DPNs, 2.25 millimeter. It's kind of my go-to at the moment. I cast on 72 stitches. And then for this one, I didn't do any of those modifications. I didn't add stitches, which I probably should have done, because when I tried this on my foot after I was done, it was challenging to get over my heel. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. I probably should have increased a couple of stitches at least. So I'm still working on these. I should have them done by this weekend, probably. We are camping this weekend, so that's a great time to get in a little bit more knitting. Okay, so that's number 1. Here is number 2 of that. I just finished, actually, the colorwork section. So there you go. Cuff, and then I've done the last row. I think it's a 21 or 22 row from the top of the pattern to the bottom. So I finished that, and I think on this I did, oh nope, looks like I went right into the heel. Did I? Wow. No. Nope, I did 4 rounds of black. Yeah, so I will cut the blue, which I still have quite a bit left. So I will cut the blue and then work that end in as I'm knitting, and then do 4 rows of the black before I start the heel. So there you go. And when you look at this, you can see that the color work is kind of bunched. But then when you look at this one is blocked. So I washed it, and, well, I put it in the basin in my bathroom sink with some soap. And then I let it set for a little bit before putting it on the blockers. And it blocked out perfectly. It's not bunched at all. So this one will do the same, even though it looks a little bunchy on here. Once you block it, it looks beautiful. So this one should be done this weekend. That'll be a lot of fun. And then I get to wait until September. I think she puts them out. Summer puts them out on the 1st of the month, so that is that's a Sunday. I could potentially be casting on, but there's a whole nother week in there, so maybe I'll cast on another pair of socks or catch up on my temperature blanket. I am not going to show you my temperature blanket today, but I will show it to you on my very next podcast, which will be in September. So I will show you all that I've done on that. It's quite heavy and very long already. So it's a great project. I think that's it. Yep. All right. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you all are finishing summer well. We are going camping this weekend as our last hurrah before school starts. And then we're back at it, school schedule and everything else. So I'm looking forward to more of a scheduled life. Summer is nice, but it's very unscheduled, and that just, after a while, I like to have a schedule. So going back to it will be great. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well. Enjoy your summer, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Happy knitting.